there any players that you highlighted that said, hey, maybe fits the mold of coming off of an injury, more affordable, maybe a young player that also highlighted played well against the Lions? Because those are kind of the players that definitely catch the attention of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell.
Yeah, absolutely. And one guy that I think that checks a lot of the boxes that you just mentioned is Dennis Gardeck from the Arizona Cardinals. Coming off of an injury, he played in 7 games in 2024. You might remember the Lions played against the Cardinals in Week 3, and Gardeck had an interception in that game, along with 4 combined tackles and 1 tackle for loss. This is a guy who may be up there in years. He's 30 years old, so he'll be 31 next season. He's been with the Cardinals his whole career, and injuries have kind of battered him around. He's never had anything super significant as far as absences go. He's played in at least 14 games in every year before 2024 when he only played in 7 games. But the sack totals are interesting. He's got 17 in his career, and he's more of an outside linebacker, like that Derek Barnes type of hybrid role. And so when I got to thinking about this, it's like, well, if the Lions get priced out on Derek Barnes, why would you not take a chance on somebody who maybe a little bit older, but does offer a lot of the same capabilities as far as his ability to play that kind of Sam linebacker type role? I don't know if that's necessarily how they defined it over there in Arizona, but he does have that similar ability to play the run really well and then get after the quarterback in spurts. And the way he's been categorized by Pro Football Focus is he's an underrated designated pass rusher. So he doesn't necessarily get the love that he may deserve based on how well he's performed. But I think that Dennis Gardeck is one that's very interesting. If you want to go a little bit older, you could maybe take a swing on Matt Judon at a low type of contract to see if he's got anything left in the tank. I know he kind of underwhelmed this year for Atlanta after being acquired in that trade. But Matt Judon is still Matt Judon, and the body of work speaks for itself. And then another guy, obviously, when you talk about edges, and this guy's been kind of brought up in a bunch of different conversations over the last several years, is Josh Uche, who got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs after re-upping with the New England Patriots. And Uche, kind of that high ceiling, but also, the floor is kind of low. And so what kind of production are you going to get with Josh Uche? And I think a team will definitely take a chance on him in 2025. Whether or not that's the Lions, I don't know. I don't know that his rush style necessarily fits what the Lions are trying to do defensively, but he's an intriguing talent for sure, and I think that's one other guy you need to keep an eye on. So, yeah, there's a lot of different options that the Lions could consider within this free agency class, and not all these names are going to be the ones you throw on billboards and guys that are going to be the people that bring fans out necessarily in droves, but I think that there's some talent that could get overlooked. And that's kind of where the Lions thrive, is in the margins. So I'm really excited to see how Brad Holmes approaches this free agency in 2025.